Okay, now we're going to go ahead and work some examples out of section 2.2. A lot of you guys like for me to work up particular homework problems, so we'll go ahead and do that. First one we'll start with is number 8. And again, just like you guys have in your recommended homework, here's the answer, just like you guys would have in the back of your book. This way I'd like for you to do your homework. We'll start off with the equation negative 4y is equal to 32. Whoops. And I got a crazy line there. Negative 4y is equal to 32. We need to get the y all by itself to get a 1 there. Well, the way we do that is we divide this guy by negative 4. But we know if we divide if we do something to one side, we have to do the exact same thing to the other side. Let's divide this guy by 4. And we get negative 4y divided by negative 4 gives us just y is equal to 32 divided by negative 4 gives us negative 8. This is our answer. And what do you know? Answer is equal to negative 8, so we're good. We can check our work, of course, by putting negative 8 into here and seeing if it is true. So the next one we're going to do is number 20. 20 is equal to negative 5x divided by 8. Answer is negative 32. So the way we're going to start off with this guy is we know we have the 8 on the bottom. So let me just rewrite this to make it a little bit easier to visualize what I'm doing here. So this is the way we'd write it, you know, in a line form. We see we have the negative 5/8 on this side. With the x, we know we want a 1 there. So how do we get rid of the negative 5/8 x? Well, we multiply by negative 8/5. If we multiply by negative 8/5 on the right, we also have to multiply by negative 8/5 on the left. So we say, okay, 20 times negative 8/5 is equal to, we know this is just going to be negative 8 cancels with the 8 down here, the negatives cancel, so we get that. 5 and 5 cancel, so we get a 1x on this side. Now we go ahead and just work on the left. 20 times negative 8/5. We know when we multiply fractions, we can cross multiply. This is just like saying 20 divided by 1, right? 5 goes into 5 one time, 5 goes into 20 4 times. And now we get 4 times negative 8, which is negative 32. So negative 32 is equal to x. And what do you know? That's our solution. Again, you can check your solution by plugging in negative 32 everywhere you see x in your original equation. Now we're going to have to do addition and multiplication on this guy. 2x plus 5 is equal to 13. We like to get our variables on one side and constants on the other. I look at this and I see I have a variable on the left, no variable on the right, a constant on the left, and a constant on the right. I'm going to move my constants over. So we get rid of the 5 by subtracting 5 on both sides. It's going to be 2x equal 13 minus 5 gives us 8. Now we know we want a 1 in front of the x. The way to get rid of that 2 is divide both sides by 2. 2x divided by 2 is equal to 1. 8 divided by 2 on the left, on the right. And we end up with x is equal to 8 divided by 2, which is 4. What do you know? That's our answer. Number 58. So the reason I chose to work this one is to show you it doesn't matter what numbers you have or what you're doing, but they wanted you to solve for x, and that's the way we're going to be saying it from now on. We're going to say solve for x, and that means we want x to be all by itself with a 1 in front of it, just like we have here. We've been solving for y, we solve for x, we solve for x, solve for x again. Well, the way we solve for x here is we know we got to get rid of the square. How do we get rid of the square on the bottom? Well, we'll multiply by a square on the top. But again, if we multiply by a square on this side, we've got to multiply by a square on this side as well. So the squares over here cancel. We get negative x is equal to triangle times square. Next, we see we have a negative. How do we get rid of the negative on the x? Well, you can multiply by a -1 on both sides. -1 here, -1 here. So -1 times -x gives us just x is equal to -1 times triangle square is negative triangle square. And of course, negative triangle square is exactly the same as negative square triangle due to our commutative property of multiplication. So we have solved this equation. And the last one we're going to work is number 64. This is putting a word problem into an equation. 10 subtracted from the product of 3 and a number is 23. So this says 10 subtracted from something. So we're going to have something minus 10. 10 subtracted from, okay, that's this part right there. The product of 3 and a number. The product of 3 and a number, anytime you see a number, that means a variable. So the product of 3 and a number. If we know product means multiplication, so 3x minus 10. They say all of this is 23. Okay? Now what they want us to do is solve for x. So that we know we solve for x by getting our variables on one side and constant terms on the other. So we have a 10 here that we need to move over. We add 10 to both sides. We get 3x is equal to 23 plus 10 is equal to 33. We know we want a 1 in front of the x. So divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1. And we end up with x is equal to 33 divided by 3 is 11. So those are some examples from section 2.2. Go back and work on these, and if you get stuck, come back and take a look at on how to do this. Good luck.